It can be really frustrating when your child has worked really hard on an assignment, a writing assignment, and their thoughts come out jumbled, or worse, they stare at the blank page and they just don't know what to say. It's enough to make a home educator really wonder if they're doing enough. And that's why in my writing classes, I teach your children and support you as they learn how to add strong foundational skills that turn them into exceptional writers. And today, I am going to share with you one of my students' papers, and her name is Sophie. This is one of my favorite episodes to record because I get a chance to share the actual work of a student who is in my course and who is on my writing team. Hey there, I'm Alicia Brown, and you are listening to the Write with Mrs. Brown podcast, where we help home educators raise exceptional writers. So let me share with you this paper by Sophie. Now, I want you to know that this is a report that Sophie wrote in my class. And one of the skills that they're learning at this point of the year is how to write a report using multiple references. That is a huge skill to learn how to summarize information from lots of different sources and come up with one paragraph. So she was going to write about tortoises. So I'm going to read this and then I'm going to break down what you hear. Her title is Awe-Inspiring Creatures. Desert tortoises are astonishing, awe-inspiring creatures that may be surprising. Desert tortoises, which live in the Mojave and Sonoran deserts of Arizona and also in Utah, Nevada, and California, are herbivores. Herbivore means they only digest plants. Desert tortoises gobble up many foods, but their diet consists mainly of primrose, cactus, hibiscus, and dandelion. There's very little water in the desert, so tortoises get most of their water from what they eat, although they can live a year without water. These animals can grow from 8 to 15 pounds and reach to a height of 9 to 15 inches. They have flat feet, unlike their cousin, turtles. Tortoises use their feet to dig holes. They climb into the holes because in the daytime, the weather can get up to 140 degrees. Desert tortoises are awe-inspiring creatures with an awesome designer. All right, let's give it up for Sophie. She did such a great job. So let's break this paper down just a bit because I want you to hear what she has written and so that you can imagine what your child is able to do with these same kinds of tools. So first of all, Sophie is in my youngest class, my first class, where they are learning the foundational skills of writing, and it's the first level that I teach along with the grammar program. So let's break down her topic sentence. Desert tortoises are astonishing, awe-inspiring creatures that may be surprising. Here's what I don't want you to miss. Astonishing, awe-inspiring. Now, in my program, there are two skills that your student learns. They learn how to organize their thoughts before they write. And I know you already heard how structurally sound her paragraph was. But the second skill they learn is the skill of adding descriptive language. So astonishing and awe-inspiring, at some point in the year, we ban certain words, and we ban words like good or bad. And we give your students words they can use in place of those that are called quality adjectives. And what you're hearing here is Sophie using those quality adjectives, and you're also hearing her introduce her topic as well as share one more thing that her details will support. And she's saying that they may be surprising and they're astonishing and awe-inspiring. And then all those details behind that or after that need to support her claim. Now, here's the next sentence, and I want you to catch her relative clause. Desert tortoises, which live in the Mojave and Sonoran deserts of Arizona and also in Utah, Nevada, and California, are herbivores. Now, when you heard that which live in the Mojave and Sonoran deserts, your child will learn how to add a clause that describes the noun that it comes right after. Now, instead of saying add a relative clause, we teach them how to add something called a who which clause in the program that I use. So naturally, when they learn that skill, their sentences and the way they communicate is elevated. Now, here's another sentence. Herbivore means they only digest plants. Now, eventually we ban the word eat. So instead of using eat because it's overused, they have to go to their vocabulary list and find a strong verb, which we call them in the program, to replace that weak verb. And she used digest. In her next sentence, she uses something called an ly adverb that we use, or we call that in our program. Desert tortoises gobble up many foods, but their diet consists mainly of primrose, cactus, hibiscus, and dandelion. And then in this next sentence, she uses an adverbial clause, which they learn to use in their writing as well. There is very little water in the desert, so tortoises get most of their water from what they eat, although they can live a year without water. And then the last thing I want you to hear is she learned how to, across this year, add a clause that answers the question, why, for the reader. It's another adverbial clause, but we break it down and we call it a because clause in the program that I teach in my full year classes. So let's listen to this sentence with a because clause, and then we will take a listen to her final sentence, her conclusion. They climb into the holes because in the daytime, the weather can get up to 140 degrees. So again, this is a skill on the style or the side of learning how to add descriptive language that they are building in my writing program. And then they end with a strong conclusion that reminds the reader what the topic of the paragraph was all about. So she says, desert tortoises are awe-inspiring creatures with an awesome designer. So, of course, at the top, she said they are awe-inspiring. But then she adds, with an awesome designer. Again, she talks in her paragraph about all the different things that you will know or learn about the desert tortoise. And then she uses her last sentence to write her title, Awe-Inspiring Creatures. It's just really a nice little icing on the cake, a bow that wraps the present, whatever you want to say, however you want to say that. But these skills that your student will learn, how to organize their thoughts before they write, and how to decorate their writing, how to add descriptive language to their writing, will really elevate even your youngest writer. So if you would like your child to write like this, I would love for you to find me at writewithmrsbrown.com and join one of my writing teams, or if it's past registration, make sure you join my waitlist. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode.